So yeah, I'm Oliver. I'm the founder and CEO of Airwave. I like cigars, smoking. And basically my education consists of high school and 3 dance classes. So basically I do a lot of this. Settle, going down, standing up. But I'm autodidact, so I learn fast and I now know how to run the mic.
Use the mic.
Oh sorry, can you hear me now?
Okay, now.
Okay, perfect. I will move closer. Okay. Let's talk about something a bit more serious. We're all talking about currencies like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, or whatever, decentralizing money. Let's talk about the digital communication, because I think there are quite some problems right now regarding this subject. Maybe privacy, ownership. Sounds quite familiar. So let's start with a question. Who uses WhatsApp? And how? Of course. Skype maybe? Oh yeah, more. Okay, who actually deleted their Facebook account?
Never had one.
Never had one, but the majority of you guys, you happy with being tracked like continuously. Oops. Okay, let's start to some end user agreement kind of stuff that you agree to while using it. So WhatsApp, receive, collects information, yada yada yada, when you operate provider services. Okay, let's start. We use all the information we have to help us operate, provide, improve, understand, customize, support, and market. The shebang out of it. Third one, that's the best one. By using the software, you grant Skype an intellectual property license to use the content of your communications. I agree. Yeah, that's better. So basically what you're saying is like, nice to do a Skype thingy, and I will send you some files, or I will talk about it, and you give them the intellectual property of your communication. Sounds kind of fishy. So to this guy, who's basically the culprit of this all, I will say, dude, 1984 was a warning, not a guide. If everybody read the novel, you know what I'm talking about. And that's the main reason why me and a group of other people started Airwave a few years ago. It was originally a decentralized communication platform, video communication platform, which we launched with a group of people where, you know, they can do their stuff. And we managed to, at that moment, when we just launched our alpha, to get on the front page of the next web. With this title, you can never control journalists, so this is what they made of it. And if you're there on your, you know, study with 3 guys, okay, let's keep it running. That worked, but you know, what problem are you solving when it's still centralized? It was secure, very centralized. If it's really centralized, then basically, no matter what kind of security you put in a communication network, it's as safe as the people owning the network. Or maybe you think like, I need money, you sell the network, and then the other guy can do whatever they want. Great example is WhatsApp, where everybody lives right now. So basically the problem is ownership of communication. And yes, that's a problem we're trying to solve. So we pivoted, and basically what we did was like, how can we make the service we have right now, the boxes, not be owned by us, but owned by the end users of our network. So basically decentralizing the communication network itself. That's kind of a feat. I mean, doing something +1, -1, like in Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, or whatever you do, that's the thing. But think about real-time communications, like video conferencing. That's where we started. Messaging even. It's difficult. Furthermore, our goal was like, okay, our product needs to be very usable. What we see now in our space, also with our competitors, is like technology is like the main thing to go for. Let's decentralize everything. But in the end, especially regarding communication, you end up with a product which is not really usable. So you send somebody a message and he needs to read it within 10 minutes. And otherwise the message is gone, that kind of stuff. That's a problem. And furthermore, a communication network needs to be fast. I mean, you cannot say like, I talk to you now, or I send you now a message and you receive it like next day because of network congestion or whatever. It just doesn't work. So basically your network needs to be fast as possible. So how do we do it? Basically we were thinking like, okay, nice, blockchain technology, everything like in the big space, what's in there, what can we use and what can we do better? What we came up with is a decentralized communication network on top of a blockchain. And the blockchain is also basically a blockchain we developed. Because if you do everything blockchain, you run into a dilemma. It's called the scalability trilemma. A network cannot be secure, scalable, and fully decentralized at the same time. That's what everybody now is trying to solve. We've got layer 2 technologies regarding payments, Lightning Network, or whatever. But on the security side or the decentralized side, you can put some question mark. It's less decentral. So what's on the back of those? Basically, the scalability trilemma, consensus algorithms. That's basically the base of everything you guys are interested, we are interested in. How do you come to a consensus without a central authority? You've got proof of work, we all know. You've got proof of stake. Well, there are some new blockchains developing it. Ethereum is probably switching over, but that's going to be a nice thing to watch, like how that works out. Because, yeah, who controls basically the network? Is it like the end user, or are the miners, or the people with a large amount of coins? So we looked, and we came up for our transactional network with delegated proof of stake. Delegated proof of stake means basically a consensus algorithm where you limit the amount of nodes who basically solve the cryptographic little puzzle, which in itself is not that difficult to solve. If you have something like proof of authority, which is basically a proof of stake thing, how does it work? You limit the amount of nodes to a party, let's say 20. Everybody who has a coin can do a vote. So I would like that node to solve the little cryptographic problem. What you get then is that your amount of nodes is a little bit smaller, so way more scalable. And we're not talking about 1, 2, it's like a lot. There are some chains out there already using delegated proof of stake, and well, it works for them. It's got its problems, but so does any other consensus algorithm. So we have nodes that are elected and that solve a little cryptographic puzzle to do the transaction actually. But they can do more because you got a lot of computing power which serves a lot of stuff. So to build a communication network, you need stuff like a message bus, a pop-up mechanism. If you do something like video conferencing, you need at least some kind of box which sits in the middle, which takes streams and connects it to, makes one stream out of it. Otherwise, the end client has got like, I don't know how many users there are. You get a star network and you get network congestion and it doesn't work. If you do peer-to-peer communication, fine, but if it's like a big party involved, doesn't work, your client will crash, network will, throughput will go down, and it doesn't work. So basically we're now actually on the verge of launching that system. It works. And people always ask it, why do you go to all the trouble to write your own protocol? Well, basically my background is network infrastructure, and in that space you've got something like tier 1 providers or tier 2. If you're dependent on any other chain or whatever, read Ethereum, in the end you will run into problems caused by the party you rely on, which the network cannot handle themselves. And that's one thing we needed to solve. Furthermore, with delegated proof of stake, you basically give everybody a vote. Everybody can vote. So what you're basically doing is saying like, hey dude, you're using this application, which you pay a little fee for, but with that fee, you also have voting rights. So you can actually, you're part owner of the network. And that's kind of special. So where are we now? We're right now in alpha stage. We're testing, we're doing, we're building our first app, which is like a messaging video conferencing app, like a rework of the work we already did. And probably pretty soon we're gonna have this guy talking to me or to that girl. It's a demo screenshot of what's working already on the network. Soon there's this. We of course have a roadmap. So Q1 is improving our testnet, getting the message out there. It's the first time we're actually publicly speaking about what we're actually doing, so please be kind. Q2 is start of high ICO. Yeah, sorry guys, we need funding. More coding. Q3, finalizing mainnet. Q4, please download our app. Please use it. And we're done. Are there any questions? Yep.
Everybody who has a coin can do a vote. So I would like that node to solve the little cryptographic problem. But you get that, is that...
Which also could be used to send child pornography, and then your stake delegates, your candidates, are directly responsible.
Yeah, good question.
And therefore not anonymous. So
good question. Okay, so delegated proof of stake, our transactional network needs to be fast. That's basically the main reason. And being fast means limiting the amount of nodes. Second of all,
Does it really, is that a necessity? I think.
It's a necessity.
What is your block time, for example?
It's only a few seconds. It's this.
And how do you deal with reorgs in your network?
Well, the thing is, like, why we choose for it is like you talk about child pornography and dangerous and that kind of stuff.
No, I'm talking about the fact that you as a stake delegate could be held responsible for content you do not know the contents.
True. But I really, 5 minutes still. I really believe in like the forking mechanism. If the network tends to be like a child pornography abuse kind of stuff, delegated proof of stake actually does put in a lot of power in the network regarding like, okay, there are nodes voting for me, I don't want to participate in this one. Oh, they just fork off. We do a fork and we make it more central and we start controlling.
Well, thank you for your answer.
Okay, good.
One more last question. Here you go.
I just had one question. I know that we are at a Bitcoin conference and everybody here knows about crypto and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can imagine that that a lot of other people who are not involved in the crypto space might be interested in a very privacy-based type of application like this. But I can't really imagine them going to, for example, Coinbase or whatever we have in Holland here, going to Binance to buy your coins. What do you see for them, or is it purely meant for people like us, pretty much?
Well, it's meant for people like us. Probably what you're using for communication is like quite centralized. So at least give the option to do it decentralized. Furthermore, go to Binance where we're working on the problem. Like I think like an end user needs to be able to just put in using something like, I don't know, even a PayPal account, but what gets converted on the back end to a coin which belongs to the network.
So you have plans for a fiat on-ramp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, because we cannot deal with, like, if you charge somebody for a monthly fee or whatever, we cannot have, like, okay, I pay €5, I don't know, a month or even less, because you know,
Yeah,
speculation,
exactly.
the price of the coin will rise, like, tremendously, so.
All right. Thanks.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Due to time constraints, give a big hand of applause to Olivier.
Good. By the way,